Okay, this runs along the same lines as the last recording that I did. They are unfortunately, they are continuing to try and forcibly possess, forcibly harm, and the level of mind rape is I don't even want to articulate it. It's so abhorrent and invasive. I don't want to articulate it. These things should not be occurring on this planet. The way that they're using technology to forcibly hack into beings, into their emotional body, into their mental body, and forcibly try and control thoughts and forcibly try and control emotions. This should not be occurring. The technology on this planet should not be being used for that. Anyone listening to the recordings that I've done, if you are not yet targeted and they are not yet doing this to you, just know that this is what they are forcing on me is something that they want to be doing to everyone on the planet with the AI system. So I'm just giving you a little heads up. Now, if you're a good little sheep and you're going along with the program and you're not questioning things, you probably, for the most part, get left alone. But with some of the perceptions and conclusions that I've mentioned and stated in the last recording, I have just come to the conclusion that this universe is parasitic. And believe me, that is the last conclusion that I have wanted to come to. But all that is being forced, and how the level of torture and rape and violation really kicked in when I was expressing unconditional love from my heart chakra out for miles. And I was trying to speak telepathically to the entire planet. And I was in process of trying to do a collective healing, like assisting the collective in their healing work. And trying to shift and raise the frequency and vibration of the energetic grid, of the etheric grid. And beginning to manipulate physical reality. And beginning to manifest things in a very quick manner. That is when the torture and the rape and the use of even more invasive technologies started to escalate and really get bad. I have come to the conclusion that this is a parasitic universe. From what I would guess more so along the lines of feeling, especially with all of these other races that claim to be benevolent. and that they are claiming to assist humanity. I do not think that's the truth. I have not seen any manifested physical evidence of any of those races physically assisting humanity. Now, they'll give their lip service all day long, and they'll say that they're assisting in ways of trying to help humanity to understand, or maybe it's more so helping humanity to understand higher concepts. What I am looking for is physical help, like manifested physical assistance with the reptilian species, with the malevolent species, with what they are doing with technology, with the hacking into beings, their emotional bodies and their mental bodies via technology, the torture and the rape via clones. And sometimes torture, rape, and murder via clones. Or attempted murder via clones. And what they are doing to humans below ground. So we have all these races claiming that they are here to assist humanity. I would say that if they are here to help, then they would know what the fuck is going on. That the reptilians are torturing, raping, and murdering humans below ground and on the surface via technology. I think the majority of those races are corrupt, complicit, and are benefiting off of the torture, rape, and suffering being forced on benevolent beings above and below ground indirectly. I think they're parasites. The reptilians are parasites, and I think the races claiming to help or assist humanity are also parasites. I think they give their lip service to humanity to basically try and pretend like they're good cop, while the whole entire time they're benefiting off of what is tortured and raped and attained and or acquired from true benevolent beings who are tortured, raped, and sometimes murdered. That they're parasitizing secondhand, while the whole entire time they're trying to tell humanity that they're here to help. It's their spiel, and they've been given that spiel for a long time. And they always seem to at some point, in not so many words, blame the humans for just not being able to get it together, or be able to cooperate with each other, or get along with each other, or work together, or what have you, when the whole entire time there's a parasitic species below ground that's torturing, raping, and murdering benevolent beings above and below ground, using technology to hack into beings with frequency weaponry, and is using the technology to basically locate and target beings whose frequency and vibration are of a high nature, to locate them at birth, and then to monitor them. And I know that that's true. Because of what's been forced on me, I have forcibly become privy to certain things. One of those things is that they use the technology to basically log and catalog all beings at birth, their frequency and their vibration. If they are of somewhat of a higher nature than normal, those beings are then monitored throughout their life. If they start to, at some point, raise their frequency and vibration even higher, and they don't fall for the traps, the gatekeepers, if they go beyond that, if they start going beyond those things, then those beings are then forcibly inducted into certain programs, like the one that I've been forcibly inducted into, which is an elimination program. So what I'm getting at is, I think the races here claiming to help humanity are corrupt. I think they're parasitic. This is a parasitic farm in where humans are farmed. I think this universe is fucking corrupt and complicit and is parasitic. It stands to reason, if this is a parasitic farm, a parasitic planetary farm, then what does that mean that the universe is? As universal laws works for about 5 minutes, and then they use the artificial frequency fence to forcibly obstruct and regress universal law enforcement, and manifested correction and remedies, energies and frequencies of incoming universal law corrections, as well as forcibly obstructing and regressing universal laws via technology, in addition and or in combination with using clones and forcibly cloning the masses without their knowledge and without their consent, to then forcibly siphon off their life force energy, along with many, many, many other things. That's why there are massive cloning facilities underground that they don't tell normal folk about. They're not going to send you a memo, an email, a letter. They're not going to tell you. They've been doing it a long fucking time in just about every prior civilization. That's why no civilizations ever evolve here, because it's a parasitic planetary farm. And what they do is try and harvest right before evolution climax of that civilization. So what they do is they locate high vibration and frequency beings so they can monitor them, so they can try and obstruct their evolution, try and control their evolution, and or try and prevent it altogether. They don't want beings going outside the frequency fence around the planet. They don't want beings going outside or past their gatekeepers. They're trying to control their food source. And that's in quotes. They're trying to keep every civilization from evolving. Now, they'll let a civilization get up to a certain point, but only because they're using the high vibrations and frequencies. They're raping those so that they have something to force through the fence in order to maintain some semblance of balance in the universe, while they continue to forcibly obstruct and regress universal laws so they can continue to torture, rape, and murder here. Does that make sense? I think the universe is corrupt. I think the beings claiming to help humanity are corrupt and complicit. I think they're parasitic and also benefit off the parasitization of humanity. But they give a good spiel, right? They get you to believe them and suck you in and get you believing in the hopium. Oh, we're here to help. We're here to help. You don't have to worry about anything. We're here to help. You don't have to do anything. You can try doing your inner work, but you don't have to worry about anything. We're going to help you out, right? While the whole entire time they give you a bunch of half-truths mixed with lies, spin you off into a little fucking circle jerk, and they never really get you on the actual direct path to the real truth. They spin you off into the fucking weeds and keep you going in little circles while blowing smoke up your ass and feeding you hopium the whole time. Right? Because there has to be they have to give a show of some kind of benevolent force, right? So people don't start questioning, why is everything so fucking malevolent? Why is everything so horrific here? It's to give a show, the theater, the facade, that there's benevolence, when really there isn't. I think the universe is corrupt and fucking parasitic. And as I said, those other groups and races of beings are the same. And I think they've turned pretty much, I think they've parasitized and cannibalized at least a good portion of the universe, and if not the universe, at least this entire galaxy. And they're trying to, their goal is to try and prevent or obstruct the evolution of any being, because that means then we would start finding out the real fucking truth of things. That this galaxy is being run by fucking parasites. And that they've been using all the planets in this galaxy as fucking parasitic farms. And forcibly raping entire civilizations of their evolution. No wonder beings are so fed up with this fucking planet. Because they're recycled over and over and over, fractured and fragmented in every consecutive lifetime, to keep them from remembering the original trauma, the original invasion. Can you see? Can you see what they've done here? And the fact that the universe itself is fucking in on it. Universal laws works. I am able to move their violations to universal laws directly. Sure, they get hit with the return of their violation for about 5 minutes. And then they use the technology to forcibly regress. And also maybe that they have some kind of time travel technology. Looking Glass, I believe, is one of those. This is an inverted time loop matrix. So I think they continue to, every time humanity makes progress, or an individual makes progress, really starts to evolve, I think they forcibly regress. That the collective or that being, to force them into a lower state, to try and force their frequency and vibration lower. And if that doesn't work, they get what's been being forced on me. They get forcibly inducted into an elimination program where the beings are forcibly tortured and raped psychologically and on all levels of their being 24/7, 365 to try and force that being to commit suicide. They're trying to destroy evidence. They're trying to keep beings from realizing, from evolving and realizing what the fuck this galaxy is and what the fuck they've been doing here. And I think I started to catch on. I think I started really coming into some really abhorrent truths. And then as soon as I did, and as soon as I really started working with my gifts, skills, and abilities on this planet, and really started magnifying love and sending it out for miles, and working with the energetic and etheric grids of this planet, and really starting to raise the frequency and vibration of this planet, they flipped the fuck out. They flipped the fuck out, and all of a sudden the torture and the rape got even worse. Got even more invasive. And I don't even want to articulate or give word to what it is right now. As far as how traumatic. Every day they try and fucking murder me. Every day. More than once a day. Okay? I'm just letting you know. I'm pretty sure I've got the fucking truth of things. Now, you can argue that all day long. You can disagree with that all day long. I give no fucks. Okay? There is some shit going on. I can connect dots. I'm intelligent enough and have been forcibly made privy to enough nasty and enough abhorrent truths to be connecting those dots. Okay? And the more dots I fucking connect, the worse the torture gets, the worse the rape gets, the more invasive they get. So I'm just letting you know, I'm pretty sure that I fucking got it. The truth of things. They're doing everything that they can to keep benevolent beings from evolving. To try and keep them from finding out the truth about this galaxy. Now, I don't know about the entire universe, but this galaxy is fucked. And I think all the beings in this galaxy are somehow, in some way, on some level, fucking complicit. I think that there is more than just one parasitic farm. I think they're using other planets in addition to Earth as parasitic farms. And I think they're trying to obstruct beings from truly evolving, because then we would see how this galaxy is being run. And because we are highly evolved beings, and I started to, because I'm returning violations manually to universal laws, and they started getting hit with their own shit, they freak the fuck out. Which means they freak the fuck out, but not only them, other entities that are also complicit in other parts of the galaxy also started to flip the fuck out. Do you see where this is at? Can you see? They're afraid. They're in massive fear because as highly evolved beings, we could fucking end them. And so when I started actually manipulating physical reality and trying to help shift the entire collective, that's what they're that's when they really started to flip out. As I said, they're trying to get rid of all the benevolent beings that they target, that are of a high vibration and frequency, who are starseeds, indigos, galactics, angelics. They're seeking you out. They're trying to murder you. Because we have the gifts, skills, and abilities, the high vibration and frequency to fucking end them. We can end them. Because I'm not saying that we're better or more special or any of that. It's not about that. What I'm saying is we're just older. And we've come into more of our spiritual learning. And we've been able to raise our frequency and vibration higher than some over a period of time. Probably because we've been had more times in the recycle program. So what I'm saying is that's what they're doing. They're trying to locate and seek out more advanced souls, souls who carry a higher frequency and vibration, to try and obstruct you and or prevent you from evolving, from raising your frequency and vibration, because then you start to figure out, you start asking the questions I started asking, and you start figuring out what the truth of this galaxy is. And they, because the heart is a record, and because universal laws is also a record, and because the reason why those benevolent beings that supposedly, benevolent is in quotes, they claim to help, right? They claim to be benevolent. But ask any one of those bitches to connect to you directly to your heart chakra and communicate directly to your heart chakra, as they should be able to automatically do, supposedly being a very highly advanced being from higher dimensions. They should have no problem connecting to the heart chakra to communicate directly to the heart chakra. But will they do it? No, they won't. They'll talk to you all day long in your mind. Will they connect your heart chakra? No, because the heart is a record. A heart is the lie detector. A heart also, there's, when a being connects to you through your heart chakra, there's an energetic signature of the information that was put there. So ask any one of those bitches to communicate to your heart chakra, because they should have no problem doing it if they reside in a higher dimension. They won't do it. They'll blow smoke up your ass. They'll give you a gazillion reasons why they can't or why they won't. Because you would know right off immediately. The heart knows. The heart would know that they're not benevolent. And they would be found out. Now, they'll use technology to force benevolent kinds of emotions into the heart, but that's frequency weaponry. That's easily done. I'm talking about communicating. Like sending any angelic, any higher dimensional benevolent being should be able to send a message encapsulated in love directly to the heart chakra. And then the other part of that is Akashic Records is also a record. Now, I don't know if Akashic Records can be tampered with by the universe itself. I have no idea if the universe itself, the energy and or consciousness and or awareness and or intelligence that is this universe, which I would obviously put quotes around all of those, because he seems like a malevolent motherfucker, a very parasitic psycho universe that's complicit and that is assisting parasitic entities forcibly torture, rape, and at least attempt to murder benevolent beings. Because he has not assisted. And anytime I move things to universal laws, it only lasts for about 5 minutes. Who can reverse universal laws? Who can do that? The frequency fence, they're using technology to forcibly regress. Just as this is an inverted time loop matrix, obviously they have some form of technology that can invert, do time loops. But the universe itself, as I am one who is able to move violations manually directly to universal laws, which is outside the frequency fence, and they do get hit with the return violation. However, it only lasts about 5 minutes before they're coming back at me again with the same violation. And they're what they're forcing, let's just say it's I'll say this, it's more often. It's definitely more often. Okay? And that's an understatement. That is an understatement. I just don't want to give word or voice to what they're doing because of the trauma. And because I don't want to, they like to do, they also use magic. They try and force magic. That's why I no longer show my face in videos. Because of all the forced magic and the forced harm via magic that I have revoked my full consent for. They don't even have my consent to be on my channel, period. But what I'm getting at is the universe itself. The universe itself should be backing me, should be also enforcing universal laws. It should be upholding all universal law enforcement. There shouldn't be a frequency fence around this planet that forcibly traps beings here without their knowledge and without their consent. And forcibly forcibly aids in the assistance of raping entire civilizations of their evolution. What universe entity fucking does that? Not a benevolent one. So I think the universe itself is fucking complicit. I think they're all fucking guilty. At least in this galaxy. I think they're all fucking guilty. I think they've all been parasites for a long fucking time. And I think that they do their best to keep any civilization from evolving because we would find out the actual truth of this galaxy and what they've been doing. And the actual truth of the entity that is this universe and how he's been running it. Because if beings truly knew, we'd all be screaming to get out of here. We'd all be screaming to get off, and we would be refusing consent, and we would be fighting back. And then they wouldn't have a food source, now would they? If we all knew the truth of things and we were all fighting back and standing in our authority and standing in our power and refusing consent and demanding that the universe itself enforce universal laws, and we would be using our gift, skills, and abilities to remove and destroy the frequency fence around this planet as well as others, and we would be freeing many, many beings from slavery, from being parasitic food. And if we really knew the truth of things, this wouldn't be a very parasitic, this wouldn't be a parasitic galaxy for very fucking long, now would it? I think all the bitches are corrupt. I think this universe is corrupt. I think all the beings claiming to help humanity are corrupt. I think this galaxy, I think whatever benevolent, if they claim to be benevolent, I want to, like, you better get rid of some fucking reptilians and some frequency weaponry and some artificial frequency fences before I believe your ass. That's where that shit's at. And I think I do know the fucking truth of it. And because I know the truth of it, I'm making it public. And because I know the truth of it, they're still trying to fucking murder me. So I suggest anybody listening to this, take a good look around and take stock of some shit. And any benevolent, in quotes, any benevolent being you fucking come up against, you better start asking some hard, logical, critical questions of that being and getting some solid fucking answers. And revoke your consent right away. Don't contract with them. Don't agree to work with them. Don't do any of that shit until they can fucking prove themselves. Unless they're getting rid of reptilian entities or frequency weaponry, they're full of shit. And they're a fucking parasite. And that's what that is.